Liverpool, the first team to win the FA Cup final at the Millennium Stadium in 2001. Will they be the last as well? Alan Pardew hopes and believes not. His team in their change strip of all white with dark sleeves will be getting us underway in a moment or two. Sizzling atmosphere inside the Millennium Stadium today, and it's Ferdinand straight away on the ball. On then by Gabidon, familiar territory this for him, of course, as a Welsh international and former Cardiff player. Off goes Gerrard. Searing run down the right. Is that where he's got to start, Ray? Looks that way.
Well, it looks like it straight away that Cisse has joined up the front there with Gerrard is out on this right-hand side, has taken the tackle there straight away. But he will fancy getting at Konchesky. He looks like straight away, as soon as he got it, he fancies he can run him, he can get beyond him and get dangerous balls into the box. So a little change from the formation, but one that we thought may happen.
Liverpool straight onto the front foot, and it will be the skipper, Steven Gerrard, who will look to curl this one in. It's an inviting ball too. Herpierre. In fact, the whistle has gone, blown by Alan Wiley for a free kick then to West Ham. Liverpool, who do seem to relish knockout competitions. This is their 8th final in 5 years, and they've lost only 2 of them. Rafa Benitez, who's doing a wonderful job up at Anfield, and certainly intends to build on that. They may have lost the European title they gained on that glorious, improbable night in Istanbul, but on the domestic front, they feel they have made significant strides in narrowing the gap behind Chelsea. Now by Gabidon. Now Peter Crouch. It can't be such a hatball. How do you play him, Ray?
Well, it's very, very difficult because the size of the man, it's very difficult to compete with him in the air. You really have to be looking to pick up second balls. If the right balls are played in and around the 6 and 8 yard area, then obviously you're going to have to compete. But the best way really is to try and make sure that you pick up his flick-ons, because he's virtually impossible to mark in the air when those balls are played up to him like that.
Yet the England squad, of course, for the World Cup finals, Peter Crouch. And maybe a starter too, by the looks of things. Big doubt still, of course, over Wayne Rooney and Michael Owen. It's Ashton to nudge it on. Is it a gamble, do you think, to play Dean Ashton, Ray? I mean, there's been all this talk this week of his injury, and it was only yesterday they decided he was going to trade and play.
I think it's a little bit of a gamble. I mean, a hamstring is a funny injury in terms of, you know, normally it's 2 or 3 weeks, and it's just gone a couple of weeks since he had that injury, and I just think it is a little bit of a gamble. He's not the quickest lad in the world anyway.
This is Gerrard looking for Crouch in the middle. It was Scaloni who managed to get it away. Now Etherington. Another whose place in this final had been under threat because of injury. But his was an impact injury, really. That is slightly different, an ankle problem.
Just finishing what I was saying about Dean Ashton there, I think, you know, that he is a slight gamble by putting him in there. But what he's actually doing is, when Liverpool's back four have possession, he's dropping off and trying to look after Alonso, who everybody knows makes Liverpool play.
Rio Coker has broken it up successfully then for West Ham. He is going to be a key man in the midfield, no two ways about that. Rio Coker, 22 tomorrow, and hoping then to be the youngest ever FA Cup final winning captain. The late great Bobby Moore was the youngest previously, back in 1964, when he held the trophy aloft after their win over Preston. A late and dramatic win, as I recall, 3-2. Now Fletcher in for Hayden Mullins, suspended in midfield. The Welsh international, who was saying how much he relished playing against Steven Gerrard when Wales took on England, but he said he didn't get over it for 2 days. An unexpected chance for Fletcher, who's on the ball here because of Mullins' ban. He's hardly played in the Premiership in truth, Fletcher, but he came up with an absolute stunning goal in the win over Tottenham, his first in the Premiership, and all of a sudden he's flavour of the month. Now Now a bright and sunny day in the Welsh capital after a lot of rain overnight. I thought at one stage you might have to put the roof out, but did not turn out to be the case.
It's been interesting now, hasn't it, that even in this early stage we've seen 3 or 4 people trying to turn quickly and slipping on the turf, because I believe this pitch has only been laid for just over a week and probably it's still bedding in. That's why they were worried about rain and why they were thinking about keeping the roof closed.
They were mowing it at 3 o'clock this morning apparently, and then again at 5 o'clock. It does look in pristine condition. Fletcher for West Ham. And at the moment, with almost 10 minutes gone, don't seem overawed. It's mainly a young team being nurtured by Alan Pardew.
I mean, this is the biggest game they've played in for some time, but let's not forget they have been in this stadium the last couple of years in playoffs, so they know about the atmosphere, albeit they've never played in a game as big as this. Although some people would say trying to get in the playoffs to get in the Premiership is probably nearly as big these days.
Financially, yeah. Etherington, a former Tottenham player, another who's been a big hit for West Ham though. That's Ashton, looking for the burly figure of Marlon Harewood. And his physical presence will certainly be a threat to Liverpool. Harewood, the man who scored the winning goal in the semi-final against Middlesbrough. Herpier, wide of him is Finnan. No question West Ham are the underdogs. And then back in 1988, as every Liverpool fan will tell you with gritted teeth and a clenched fist, so were Wimbledon, as rank outsiders could be. Even their mums didn't think they could do it, but Bobby Gould's team overcame the longest of odds to embarrass the finest side in the land at the time. Here's Harewood, he's got a sight of goal here. A very important block there by John Arnorisa, flung himself in his path as Harewood threatened to race clear.
Well, it was a good block by Risa, certainly, and he needed to, because it was him in the first place who gave it away with a sloppy pass, but he managed to get back and get that block in, because certainly Harewood struck that fiercely, and it would have certainly tested Rayner, I'm sure.
But an early encouraging sign here for the Hammers. Etherington will take it. Ferdinand has arrived in the middle now. Fletcher making a late run. And then Rayner having to hold on there against Dean Ashton, who can be menacing in the air. It's one of his strengths. Good all-round, old-fashioned type of centre forward, Dean Ashton, and a very accomplished one too in terms of his technique. He got the 2 goals that saw off Manchester City in one of the earlier rounds. Gerrard lurking with intent along with Cisse, and he was certainly upended then. Steven Gerrard, kept by Fletcher.
That's a lovely little movement, Alonso and Gerrard there, Cisse, and certainly Gerrard was looking to be coming onto that for a shot if Fletcher hadn't have just tackled him from behind. Quite rightly, free kick. Let's hope there's not a yellow card so early in the game, but certainly, yes, the referee's being sensible and just giving him a good warning about it.
Gerrard looking to strike a dagger there through the West Ham heart, as he can do in such deadly fashion with those runs from midfield. The new Player of the Year in England, Steven Gerrard. And of course destined to be a key man for England as well. Hovering here, along with John Arnorisa, who can really batter them. He's got 3 terrific goals in the FA Cup already this season, the Norwegian. Alonso alongside. Gerard Arnorisa, looks like Risa, and it is. He really let fly as well. But West Ham had plenty of bodies in the way. Plenty back there as covering defenders. That's a shove.
Well, he did really get hold of this, and Cisse knocked Benioun on the floor there to try and create the space for Risa to hit it through, but didn't hit the gap, and West Ham got a good block on it.
He was a scorer, of course, in the semi-final win over Chelsea, John Arnorisa. Crackers 2 against Portsmouth and Birmingham, where Liverpool scored 7. They did have a spell when they were really struggling to score goals of any kind, Liverpool, but in the end they've got 100 at the moment in competitive football this season. 17 in the FA Cup, including those 7, a record 7 away to Birmingham in the quarter-finals. It was humiliation for the Blues. Franceschi asking a little much here of Marlon Harewood. He was set for quite a battle against those two central defenders, Herpier and Carragher. One of the strongest partnerships in the business. He's here today, it's Sven-Göran Eriksson, having named his squad. So Trevor Brooking there in the front row. Guess who he wants to win today?
I wouldn't think Trevor will be biased at all, do you?
The man who stooped to head the winner in 1980 against Arsenal. The last time a team from outside the top division won the FA Cup. They've had 33 clean sheets this season, Liverpool. One more today will equal a club record. They'd hope to beat it, but have squandered 1 or 2 opportunities in recent matches, in particular conceding a late goal to Portsmouth in their final league game. That would have given them the chance today to beat the record. Cisse and Crouch up top here. It is Cisse. Gabidon getting in ahead though of Peter Crouch. Now Anton Ferdinand. Brother Rio, of course, was a loser last year with Manchester United here, when Arsenal beat them in the penalty shootout. There are some who say that in years to come, Anton will prove to be at least as good as his brother, if not better. Watch this space. Certainly had a good season for West Ham in the Premiership. Finnan. Looking for Crouch, who did seem to lean in then. Alan Wiley had a little look. Gave himself a second or two just to make up his mind, and then did give the free kick.
He has a little wry smile there, Peter. He knew that he did climb all over the back of Scaloni.
He doesn't need to, does he?
No, he doesn't, no. But that's the ball they'll be trying. They'll try and get Peter on both full-backs and knock diagonal balls into that far post, because that's where he's at his best, knocking balls goalwards or back towards forwards, and the likes of Stevie Gerrard breaking into the box.
As I was saying earlier, something of a surprise that Scaloni is starting. He hasn't really settled, in truth, with West Ham. He's only played 13 times in the Premiership since coming on loan from Deportivo La Coruña in Spain. Benayoun. Now Scaloni has made a run down that right side. Well sink too by Ashton. Harewood wants it in the middle. Oh, it's an own goal! Enough Jamie Carragher, and West Ham have taken the lead. A sudden break, and Jamie Carragher, of all people, was in the wrong place at the right time as far as West Ham are concerned.
Well, look at this ball from Dean Ashton. That is a fantastic ball, it really is. He waited, Carragher had to play it because he wasn't sure Reina was going to get it, but this pass is inch perfect. Scaloni drives it in across the box there. Carragher has to go for it, and unfortunately for him, just with the outside, he misses it with his right foot, it hits his left foot and then goes in. But that goal is all down to Dean Ashton's superb through ball. It really was a tremendous pass.
Misery for Jamie Carragher, but elation for West Ham and their fans here. The goal coming just before the midway point in the first half. Harewood was certainly the target in the middle. That ball that came across from Scaloni, but Carragher could only turn it into his own net.
I was only just thinking to myself as well, the game was going as was expected. Liverpool having loads of possession, but not really creating anything in that first 20 minutes. And of course, West Ham had one corner, I think, and had done actually nothing like that, nothing, created absolutely nothing. Reina had hardly touched the ball. And of course, their first meaningful attack, they're in front.
The last own goal in the cup final, Des Walker for Nottingham Forest against your old club Tottenham, 1991.
Well, you're going to say Des O'Connor then for a minute.
So drama here in Cardiff. The underdogs, the dangerous underdogs, have scored first, and now Liverpool will have to come at them, as Gerrard is doing here. Etherington. Sissoko closing on him. He says no contact. I think the referee, Alan White, has concurred with that opinion. Touch and go. Didn't quite get there in truth. Sissoko.
Well, we talked about Scaloni possibly being a weak link. He's crossed the ball in there.
You said it, not me. I didn't say anything.
I think you agreed, though. But, I mean, it's a great ball in for the own goal. And we've just seen a fantastic tackle from him on Steve Gerrard when he's breaking through as well. So, still a long way to go, but he's had a very positive start.
Yes. Cisse, did he handle that? Yep. Flags up. Well, it was a gamble to include Scaloni rather than Collins. That had been the expected decision, that Collins would have played alongside in the centre of the defence there, and alongside Gabidon with Ferdinand at right back. So it was a gamble, but he's got the Midas touch at the moment, Alan Pardew. Rafa Benitez's team behind, and he might have underestimated the FA Cup and Liverpool passion for it in the past, but he doesn't now. Remember, he sent out that below-strength team in the third round last season at Burnley. They lost, and given the adverse reaction on Merseyside, and I think you take the whole of football, really, I don't think he'll be doing that again in a hurry. That was an own goal too from Traore, who's among the subs for Liverpool today.
Well, what you do have to say, Peter, it's probably exactly what the game needed. What we all wanted was West Ham to go in front.
That's neutrals, yeah.
Yes, of course.
There's a few people in red out there who wouldn't agree with him.
But certainly, I mean, we expected a great game anyway, but this now will ensure that we do have a great game, I'm sure.
Kuczeski, a West Ham fan as a youngster. You can imagine what it means to him to be playing in the final today. Man who maybe wasn't too far away from selection for England's World Cup squad, especially when Ashley Cole was out injured. Didn't quite make it in the end, Kuczeski, but he's had a very good season for the Hammers. Since switching, of course, from Charlton. There's a great ball in for Scaloni. Really well spotted then by Dean Ashton. Watch Harewood now, darting into the middle. It was meant for him, but it found Carragher, and inadvertently he guided it into his own goal. And West Ham are in dreamland at the moment. Carragher. But no way, of course, can you write off Liverpool? Not the season they've been having and the form they're in too. And those 11 straight wins behind them. Etherington having to fend off Steve Finnan. Gerrard chasing, closing down. He was such a talisman for Liverpool. Rio Coca. And Risa settling for the throw. Well, Alan Pardew promised his team would be on the front foot, would be uninhibited, and we've got a hitter's chance, he says. Big boxing fan, Alan Pardew. Harewood, who looks like a boxer, he's certainly got the physique, but he ran out of pitch then.
Well, if anybody can get over a setback like that, it'll be Jamie Carragher. There's no stronger character in the game than him. Yes, his initial response will be disappointing, but he'll come back from that, and I'm sure he'll have, the rest of the game will be solid for him. In fact, he just stopped Harewood in his tracks there when he was in full flow, and that's not an easy thing to do because Harewood is one of the quickest and strongest strikers in the Premiership at the moment.
But he will be hurting Jamie Carragher. Liverpool through and through. Over a decade now as a professional up at Anfield. He and Gerrard really are the local heartbeat of the Liverpool team. Reset. Unchallenged by Benayoun. Having said that, rather a hasty clearance then really from Reset. It was Benitez who moved Carragher back into central defence. He had been playing at right back prior to that. It's been a big success. Etherington teasing Herpier. Oh, testing Rayner, who lost it, and it's in! From Dean Ashton. Unbelievable! And West Ham are 2 goals up against Liverpool in the FA Cup final.
Well, it's amazing. It's the 2 players that have been talked about all week. Who would they play, would they not? The ball comes up. It's Ashton that flicks it on. Etherington there just turns Herpier, tries a shot. That's a ball that Rayner 9 times out of 10 gobbles up. Dean Ashton takes the chance, follows it in, and it's a simple tap in for him. But Ashton shot through legs, and Dean Ashton, well, what a contribution he's made to the game so far. Made the first goal, scored the second, and the player who right up to kick-off was touch and go whether he was going to play or not.
A real predator, such awareness in front of goal. He was alive there to the possibilities. Liverpool 2-0 down. We're nearly talking Istanbul again.
Well, it's going to take a lot now. Liverpool were certainly favourites at 1-0 down. I could see them getting back into it at 2-0. They have got a mountain to climb now, and they really are going to have to play out of their skin like they had to in Istanbul and show all that character to come back from this.
And away to my right, at the south end, the West Ham fans are going absolutely potty, and why not?
Well, they can't believe it. They were 5-1 against to win this game. And I bet there's a lot of West Ham fans to my right-hand side have had that bet as well.
Liverpool, the odds-on favourites, are in deep, deep trouble here. Amazingly, trailing by 2 goals to 0. Dean Ashton, we didn't really know until, I would think maybe yesterday at the earliest, whether he'd be playing or not today, after that hamstring injury sustained in the match at West Bromwich Albion recently. But he's been a really good signing for West Ham. They were very keen to get him out there. And another gamble. It's come off so far. No question about it. Harewood releasing Benayoun. And Liverpool are reeling here. Harewood. West Ham absolutely buoyant. 2 in the middle, including Ashton. No service though this time as it's cut out by Carragher. And Liverpool haven't really got hold of this game yet. Crouch. Gerrard certainly won't take this lying down. Making a burst up front now. Here's Harry Kewell, who's not really got into it yet. Alonso. And Gerrard. Not too much he could do with that though. They are looking shocked and stunned, the team in red, and no wonder. Xabi Alonso onto Kewell. Brought down then, was he by Fletcher? He was. Free kick to Liverpool. He says, look, I won it fairly. Not according to Alan Wiley, he didn't. Half an hour gone, and it's a scoreline that takes some believing. But his crotch! Offside. Flags up, down beneath me. Gerrard took that free kick very quickly, almost caught West Ham out, but Crouch was offside. Yeah,
it was very, very close, it certainly was. But certainly that caught West Ham napping. They'd gone to sleep, and Gerrard saw that Crouch at that far post, but just, and only just, was Crouch offside there.
Crouch, who scored the winner, of course, against Manchester United, got 2 as well against Birmingham in this season's competition. I thought for a moment there he brought his team back into this final. Ashton, I think he was backing it into Herpier. Here's Gerrard. Boy, do they need his inspiration now, his influence. Alonso. Now Finnan and Gerrard. It's a lovely ball as well for Cisse! It's there this time.
Well, as they say, game on. That certainly was a great ball in from Finnan, and certainly as Cisse gets round the back of Solanko and knocks it in right. It's a great volley. He's still got a bit to do when it arrives at him, but gets the other side of Scaloni there. Scaloni doesn't know he's there, and it's a great volley from Cisse. Here we go. No chance for Hislop, but what a game we've got on our hands now.
A really emphatic finish then by the Frenchman. There are some doubts about whether he'll be staying on at Anfield. If he carries on like this, there won't be any doubt. 7 goals in his last 10 games now. He's ending the season with a flourish. He got both goals in the league win recently over West Ham, and he's pounced here now, and it really has set up the final. Every potential now to be an absolute corker. Reset. Sometimes the finals don't live up to expectations. I don't think this is going to be one of those. It can't be now.
No, we've already seen more in this opening 30-odd minutes than we actually saw in last year's cup final, so it's a tremendous game to be watching at the moment.
Finnan. Liverpool digging deep. That's Alonso. Cisse claiming he was pulled then by Scaloni. Referee Wiley was having none of it though.
And what Benitez has done in this last 10 minutes is pulled Harry Kewell out of that wide area on the left and just brought him in behind the front two at the moment, and so they can try and get the ball into him, because he's not really had an influence on the game so far, but there's 1 or 2 holes that he might think he can get the ball and get at West Ham's back four.
Interesting too, Ray, that Cisse was saying this week, I prefer to play down the centre. I don't have to think about it then. The ball just comes to me. I put it in the back of the net, and that's exactly what happened. Rather be down the middle than out wide. Well, at the moment, indeed, he has drifted out to that left side, crouched down the middle with Kewell just behind here, as you were saying. Gerrard, who's everywhere. Crouch. Up comes Finnan. Liverpool building with purpose again now. Sissoko. Ball juggling skills by him too, and real determination as well. Rio Coca. And West Ham here need to just batten down the hatches for a little bit. Take the sting out of Liverpool's riposte, which has already been a strong one. Carragher, no one more relieved than him to see Cisse's effort go in. On by Reese. Carragher. He's only ever scored 3 times for Liverpool. At the right end anyway. It's breathtaking stuff at the moment. Really good finish then by Cisse. Broke away from his marker, away from Scaloni. He was guilty there of all ball watching in truth, the Argentine. Gerrard. This is Sissoko. He's now a Mali international. He played at under 21 level for France, but under new regulations, he's able to play at full level for Mali. That's Herpier. And it's smuggled away by Benayoun. Defending not his strongest quality, but he did well enough on that occasion. Here's Alonso. Off the pace maybe at the moment. He's got such a wonderful range of passing, but now he's got to come scattering back. Harewood on to Rio Coca. Harewood's in the middle. Too long for him, but it's Matt Etherington now. And then Herpier retaining his composure. Harry Kewell. Risa to his left. Scaloni not really tight enough on Cisse at first. Risa again. Cisse is back on his feet. It's all gone askew for Liverpool. Franceschi on to Etherington. They are such an adventurous, positive team, West Ham. It's been their approach all season. Ashton lining up a strike. And it was only just the wrong side of the post. Adventurous, positive, and then some.
Well, again, people talk about Dean Ashton, that he isn't the quickest in the world, but what a good football brain he's got. He just steers that ball away from Risa, gets it onto his favourite right side there, and just drags it just slightly wide of Rayner's right-hand post. But again, tremendous play from Dean Ashton.
And he was prolific in his early days, wasn't he, at Crewe? Not so effective really at Norwich, but certainly looking the part for West Ham. There's a little spat over on the far side, Cisse and Scaloni. Not sure what that's all about. Alamani just telling them to calm down.
Well, I think Cisse wants to get on with the game. Scaloni obviously is trying to slow the game down to get to half-time, and Scaloni wasn't best pleased the way the ball was passed from Cisse to him.
Xabi Alonso, the Spanish international. Now it's Gerrard. 3 up for Liverpool in the box at the moment. It won't reach Peter Crouch though. Here by Gabidon. He really has made the adjustment from Championship to Premiership so well a year ago. He was helping Cardiff to fight off relegation. Finnan wanting some movement, and he's found it here with Crouch. Good skill as well. But Gabidon was there. Now Alonso having to pick out Cisse. Snapshot on the turn. He's in the mood.
Well, the one thing you know with Cisse is that when the ball rounds in and around the box, he very rarely does he see anybody else. All he does is see the goal and can he score. And on that occasion, he wasn't going to have a second touch. He was always going to hit it that first time, particularly after he'd scored with the confidence he has after that first goal.
He has his critics, Djibril Cisse, but he scored 19 times this season, including that one today, which really has brought this cup final to life. Wasn't bad till then either. Here's Gerrard trying to dance his way through and link up with Crouch. But West Ham defending stubbornly enough. Cisse given away to Rio Coca. Marlon Harewood. It was not easy to brush aside. Sissoko and Cisse between them, just about managing to do that. Here's Alonso. Remember, they were 3-1 down against Luton in the third round. Liverpool bounced back from that. Crouch looking to attack it. Ferdinand made sure that he couldn't do so. Keeping a watchful eye there on the towering figure of Peter Crouch. Gerrard is taken quickly by Liverpool. Hislop had to be on his guard then to fist it away. Sissoko, Crouch. A few West Ham hearts skipped a beat then, especially behind that goal. The referee, Wiley, I think quite rightly, saw nothing untoward. Carragher feeding Cisse, who again has wandered out to that left side. This could be dangerous now. There's Kuhl going in, then Gerrard. Good play though by Rio Coca. Franceschi to Etherington. He certainly won't just sit back, West Ham. Far from it. It's not in their nature under Alan Pardew. Franceschi. Good cushion headed down by Ashton to Benayoun. Didn't quite get hold of it though. Now Alonso. Gerrard with Risa. This first half has flown by. Just over 3 minutes to go past stoppages. Finnan. There's Gabidon sticking out a long leg there to deny Peter Crouch. Finnan. Now Harry Kewell. The Australian was going nowhere though. Rio Coker, very strong, very determined. He's got Scaloni free away to his right. Ushering him in forward too, then Rio Coker. Benayoun. Fletcher. And that deeper anchor roll. Good spot as well from him to locate Etherington. Harewood making life awkward again for Jamie Carragher, as he's done throughout this first half, really. The central defenders certainly haven't had the central strikers in their pockets. Not as yet. Konchesky. Good supporting play by him. Now Harewood. He was just slightly off balance though as he hit it.
That just shows, you know, West Ham have got no fear in this game at all, and I say they're being led magnificently by Rio Coker. They certainly are, and Harewood there takes a chance and mishits it totally, but certainly prepared to take the chance. Alan Pardew there making one or two little notes, just to maybe try and adjust one or two little things in the second half. They've got themselves in front, and it's a case of can they stay there or can they add to it. But I'm sure that Benitez will have a few words to say at half-time to make sure that Liverpool continue the pressure that they're starting to mount on West Ham.
There'll be 1 minute of time added on. Some say West Ham have lived too long on past memories, but this does seem to be a team for the future, and certainly for the present, for the future, a very solid future. Kewell, Finnan. Needs to play well back there, doesn't he? Danny Gabidon, the Welshman. The former Cardiff player, really relishing here. Playing back in the capital. There's Sissoko trying to make his presence felt against Matt Etherington. They will be enjoying what they have seen so far. So much optimism among the West Ham fans, for all the odds stacked against them. But they had a 2-goal lead before Liverpool bounced back. A reply from Cisse, which really has set up the second half. No two ways about that. Ferdinand. This is his 100th game for the Hammers. Etherington turning away from Sissoko. Fletcher. I've got the width here with Marlon Harewood. Blocked by Risa. Well, a fabulous, entertaining first half. Liverpool 2 down, the own goal from Jamie Carragher, then Dean Ashton scrambling in the second. But all credit to Liverpool, they have come back so well. Djibril Cisse, and it really has all the makings of a wonderful second half. Liverpool 1, West Ham 2. But this is not a familiar feeling for Liverpool, being behind. They haven't lost. Well, they won 11 in a row, remember. They haven't actually lost since Arsenal beat them at Highbury back on March the 12th. They haven't lost their last 8 games against West Ham in any competition. Just looking at Djibril Cisse's boots, I think he had odd ones on in the first half. I suppose that's what you call being laid back. Some might say ill-prepared. Etherington, are they prepared at the back for Harewood's arriving on the scene? Then Benayoun as well! Almost skipped free. And Rayner to the rescue there for Liverpool, who were totally stretched and caught out by the speed of that incisive break by West Ham. That's what they're all about. High tempo and a really adventurous approach.
Well, it was that man Dean Ashton that created it again, and really Harewood should have scored.
It was indeed an escape then for Liverpool, whose minds, it seemed, were still in the dressing room. Golden opportunity then for Marlon Harewood to have restored his team's 2-goal cushion.
Well, it really was, and even Benayoun in the end, but could have scored, but there was an excellent block by Pepe Reina, but certainly it was an incisive ball by Dean Ashton again, inside Finnan, and Etherington just had too much pace for him.
Reset. Now Gerrard on to Cisse. Play on, says Alan Wiley. Cisse's ball in for Alonso, and it's spun away off Ferdinand. Behind for the corner. Could have been more serious then for West Ham. Just showing that Morientes is coming on for Harry Kewell. Kewell is struggling with an injury.
Well, to be fair, towards the back end of the first half, he did start stretching his groin off as though he might have a little niggle there. That's obviously got worse, and that's why the change is occurring.
That was Peter Crouch going in to no avail. I think we're going to see the switch in a moment or two. As we were saying at the start, it was a toss-up really between Morientes and Cisse as to which of them would start. Well, now they are both going to be on. Here's the save again from Rayner.
Yeah, when you see that save again by Rayner, it was 2 saves really. When Harewood had the first shot, Rayner just stuck out his right foot and managed to make the save, and then he got back and made another good block from Benayoun as well. So really 2 excellent saves. If that had gone in at the start of the second half, I'm not sure that Liverpool would have come back from it. But a sad Harry Kewell going down the tunnel there, injured yet again, and Morientes now on the field.
That's a groin injury. Confirmation of that. Here's Crouch looking for Morientes maybe. Morientes, a player who really doesn't feel he's done himself justice since coming to Anfield. Now's his chance on the big stage, and he says, I am a big stage player, a big game player. Here he is now. No doubt he can be a deadly finisher. But he hasn't really brought that goal-scoring prowess to Merseyside. Reset. Not one of his better efforts.
No, we've seen him score from there before. He can strike it from there, but on this occasion he's cut right across the ball, and absolutely no threat to Xhaka Hislop's goal at all.
Benitez, sorry, just to interrupt there, just talking about Morientes. I mean, he has kept faith in him, hasn't he? But you do wonder how much longer he will be at Liverpool if he doesn't begin to show the form he is capable of. He says himself, I'm only halfway through the contract. It's only job half done by me. Morientes is through the middle, so is Peter Crouch, and that's a free kick. We really haven't had that many stoppages, though. The game really has flowed, isn't it, Ray?
No, it has. The stats at half-time showed that, you know, the very few fouls, only 1 offside in the game. It's been a very open game, and there's been some good football played.
Here's Gerrard. His route to goal was blocked for a moment anyway. Goes Crouch. In comes Gerrard! It certainly wasn't blocked the second time, and they are back on level terms in this thrilling cup final. 2-2.
Well, wouldn't you know it if anybody was going to score, you know, right from the kick-off. Gerrard has shown his intention. Lovely ball in. Crouch at the far post there, knocks it back, and there's Gerrard unmarked. Midfield, West Ham midfields don't follow his run in, and it just bounces up from lovely. Watch him appear in the picture there as he comes in. No West Ham midfield player near him. Carl Fletcher hasn't followed his run, bounces up lovely for him. Xhaka Hislop, no chance whatsoever.
He is a leader. Boy, is he a leader. Now it's a different game. On 54 minutes, Steven Gerrard, goal number 22 for him this season. A midfielder, of course, by trade, but he's so much more than that. He rattled it home there, no chance whatsoever for Shaka Hislop, and suddenly the whole mood has changed. Here's Peter Crouch. And Liverpool now firing on all cylinders, inspired by who else? Steven Gerrard. His manager says he ought to get 25 goals a season. That's how much he rates him and how highly he rates his goal-scoring potential. Goodness me, really thumped that home then, Gerrard.
Well, let's not take away what Peter Crouch did as well. Peter pulled to that far post. He could have headed it anywhere, but he saw Gerrard making the run, just knocks it down into his path perfectly, and Gerrard just did not the simple task, but certainly finished it off superbly.
And now we shall see what the Hammers are made of. Such a test of this man's character, his team's character. 2 goals up, they've blown that, but far from out of this final, the way that they've been playing. Hoping to catch Fender on Eriksson's eye today. Franceschi, a view to the future. It's Ashton who went in too strongly then on Finnan, and I think it's going to be caution for that. First yellow card of the game, which has certainly been sportingly contested.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit harsh. You know, this is the first yellow card in the game, and yes, it was a foul, but it wasn't anything malicious. He just got there as quickly as he could, basically, and did catch him, but not in any malicious intent, and therefore I think it was a little bit harsh.
Alonso to Jamie Carragher. His move will brighten considerably for that second goal. Having conceded an own goal himself. Cisse. Benayoun read his intentions though and read them quicker. And his opposite man there, Risa. Here's Konchesky. Now Etherington. He has had a chance to show what he can do in the Premiership with West Ham this season. Can really make a breakthrough with Tottenham, although he played over 50 times for them. It's with the Hammers that we've seen what he can do. Rio Coker. Now Ashton. We have 2 in the box to aim for. Although he couldn't deliver, it will be a corner. Etherington and Benayoun coming across to sort it out between them as Anton Ferdinand, who's never scored an FA Cup goal, arrives in the middle to join the likes of Harewood. Scaloni's up there as well. Gabidon has stayed well back. Ferdinand going to that near post. Couldn't quite get a connection though. And out come Liverpool now on the counter raid. Just past the hour mark. Cisse. Good challenge though by Gabidon. He looks a class act, this fellow. Really has made the transition from Championship football to Premiership football in style.
Yes, he has that wonderful attribute of pace. And if you've got that at the top level, it does give you a great chance.
Really laid-back character. A very determined defender as he's underlined today. Crouch. Couldn't fend off Ferdinand though. Ashton. And he was tripped in by Carragher. And that may well be a yellow card for him. It is. Not one of his better days so far. Having cautioned Ashton for the earlier offence, I think maybe he felt there Carragher's name had to go in the book as well.
Now that tends to happen a lot in the game. The referees don't book anybody in the first half for little things, and then they think they've got licence to actually go and book for anything in the second half.
Yossi Benayoun. So exciting for West Ham this season. Now Konchesky lending his support down the left. Oh, it's in! Paul Konchesky has conjured up an incredible goal. Did he mean it? Was it a cross? Was it a shot? He doesn't care right now. It's a goal for West Ham, and they are back in front in this extraordinary, exhilarating final.
Well, I can't believe he meant that. I think he was aiming for Harewood, who was peeling off to the far post. But it caught Rayner again. You see Harewood pulling off to the far post. I'm sure that's where he's looking. He's miscued it slightly. Rayner's off his line. He can't adjust his feet quickly enough. And we see the finish in the back of the net. I think he looks up there, looks at Harewood, and it comes off the outside of his foot. And Rayner is totally in the wrong position and can't readjust.
Completely wrong-footed then. Pepe Rayner had to Alan Pardew's delight. Not to mention the delight of the 23,000 or so West Ham fans back behind the goal over on that far side. Franceschi has scored his first ever FA Cup goal. And it really has now set up a thrilling finale to the game. Can Liverpool come back again? You bet they can. Carragher. Such a shock to the system though for the Reds, who must have thought they were getting up top. They must have thought West Ham were there for the taking. Far from it. That is the spirit, that is the character I was referring to earlier, that West Ham needed to show. And they most certainly have, in the most emphatic fashion. Paul Konchesky. A man who grew up as a Hammers fan as a boy. Went to the semi-final back in '91 as a youngster. That was a miserable day then. This one may not be. Certainly isn't at the moment. Whether he meant it or not. Very much a fixture in the West Ham team. He only missed one Premier League game all season, and that was against Liverpool. A recent defeat at Upton Park. Maybe they were holding him back, keeping him back. There's no holding back Benayoun at the moment. Now it's Ashton. We've got plenty up here. Etherington. And Benayoun just checked then in his stride. Didn't go on. And I think Etherington maybe thought he had. Stay with it for a moment, Ray. And it might just be time for you to get a word in. It's all go here. Harewood. Oh, he's onside. Ashton's in the middle, so was Benayoun. And Benayoun just wheeled away then in frustration, but there was no service. Now it's Liverpool on the rebound. Scaloni racing clear for West Ham. It's so open now. Marlon Harewood. West Ham revitalised by Konchesky's goal. Benayoun. Fouled by Alonso.
I think Alonso wants to come off. I think that he knows that enough is enough. He's not right. He's certainly signalling to the bench that he wants to come off. And certainly now, I think they were ready to make a change anyway. Whether it was Alonso or not, I'm not sure. But
I think it was Crouch. I think it was Crouch who was going off.
Well, certainly Alonso wants to come off and is coming off.
And it's young Kroenke who's replacing him. They've had a rethink over there. Alonso, who, remember, had come into the final with a damaged hamstring, a damaged ankle rather. And he's been replaced by Kroenke, who is a defender by trade.
Well, what that'll do is Kroenke will come on and play on the right-hand side, and Gerrard will go in the middle of the field now with Sissoko. So obviously Alonso felt something and thought this is not the sort of game to be going on and carrying an injury.
Sissoko. This is Fennon. Now Gerrard. Sissoko. Fennon. Kroenke, the Dutchman, is further forward over on that right side. In goes Morientes. Beaten in the air though by Anton Ferdinand. Harewood. Hero of the semi-final. We've got plenty of heroes today. Benayoun. That'll be Rayner's. He's getting more and more influential as this game goes on. Benayoun. Real danger with those searching runs. Gabidon. Again, a tower of strength back there for West Ham. Reset. Liverpool really have a match on their hands. Fletcher to Benayoun. As Liverpool begin to gamble, there will be a gap or two for them to exploit the Hammers. Etherington. Franceschi, an unlikely goal scorer. Let's put his team back in front in this memorable final. Franceschi in trouble here against Kroenkamp. Back to the rescue, Danny Gabidon. What a game he's having back there. Franceschi. Should be Carragher's. And then Finnan. West Ham about to make a change over on that far side.
Well, I think, to be fair, Peter, they've been trying to make a change for about 5 minutes and the ball just won't go out of play. It's that sort of game.
It'll be Zamora for Ashton. That's what we're hearing anyway.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. Ashton was a doubt. He's done tremendous for 60-odd minutes. He's bound to be feeling the pace of this game because it is being played at a fast and hectic pace.
Rio Coca! And suddenly Liverpool were on the back foot again there. Now here is the change. And you can imagine the kind of reception that Dean Ashton is going to receive from the West Ham fans. They'll know all about the injury. They know there's no other reason that he's giving way here. As we see again the effort from Franceschi that, well, completely called out Jose Pepe Reina. Ashton, scorer of West Ham's second goal. They doubled their money then. Back came Liverpool to 2-2. But then Franceschi's strike has given them the advantage again, and it's Bobby Zamora, who a year ago scored the winner, of course, in the Championship playoff final against Preston, who is now on in his place. Toss up between him and Teddy Sheringham, really. Zamora has first stabbed in, and Haman is on for Liverpool.
Well, it's another tactical change yet again. It now means that Gerrard looks like he's going to play in behind the front two and let Haman and Sissoko hold in the middle of the field and just give Gerrard really the freedom of the park.
Haman on for Crouch. Gerrard. This is Finnan. Now Haman, the German international, to Steven Gerrard. Plowing his way forward again. Oh, Morientes. Just a sniff of a chance there for the Spaniard. But West Ham shut that door very quickly, and a lovely balancing act by Alan Pardew, who controlled the ball. I'm not sure if you saw it over on the far side. Relishing every moment of this, especially with his team having this 3-2 advantage over Liverpool. Who would have thought it? And he does not look too happy about it. But he's certainly taking nothing for granted. No foregone conclusion, he says, before the game got underway. But deep down, I'm sure he will have thought, look, we're going to win this today. The hottest of favourites. But maybe they reckon without the spirit and determination of this West Ham team. But here's Gerrard now. In for Haman. Gerrard again. It's Etherington back defending this time. Then Franceschi. Nobody upfield for the Hammers. And Benitez's control not as good as Pardew's. Not that he's going to see the funny side of it at the moment.
And obviously Pardew now is looking to bring on Daly to try and maybe stem what's Liverpool's happened. I mean, Carl Fletcher coming off now, I think, and certainly Carl Fletcher's done really well for him, holding in the middle of the field. Maybe should have done better with Gerrard's goal, followed him into the box, but apart from that, he's done an excellent job, and obviously Daly's now being brought on to work alongside Rio Coca and make sure that they hold on to this goal advantage they've got.
The Scottish international, Christian Daly, versatile, he can slot into any one of a number of roles. He'll be at midfield. They hope to keep things tight for West Ham. But the Irons are under fire here. Cisse, it's only partially cleared as far as Sissoko. Was looked by Ben Ayoud. Risa. Now Hammad. Now Finnan to bend this one in. And there yet again is Gabidon. So much has been soaked up by West Ham around him. Sissoko. Risa.
Well, Alan Pardew now has obviously gone, right, we're going to hang on to what we hold, because he's withdrawn Harewood out the front, he's put him on the right-hand side, they've left Zamora up the field on his own, they're playing 4-5-1, and they're saying to Liverpool, OK, can you actually score against us, because we don't think you're capable of it, and we're going to just shut up shop and win this game 3-2.
Harewood, it might be against his natural instinct, Alan Pardew, but you can't blame him indeed now. They're trying to hold on to this. Nine goals in the 5 previous finals, 5 today already. And who's to say there won't be more? Hammad for Liverpool. The last man to score at the old Wembley against England, of course, for Germany. Sissoko. And Cisse couldn't get it under control. Frustration again for Liverpool. Teddy Sheringham is about to make his entrance. 40 years and 41 days. The oldest FA Cup finalist for 60 years. And it's Matt Etherington, one of those who remember has been doubtful for the game because of injury, who is going to be sacrificed for the last few minutes. Teddy Sheringham, an FA Cup winner with Manchester United, of course, in the treble year of 1999. He went on as a sub and scored soon after being introduced on that occasion. Can he make an impact again here? Great moment for him.
It certainly is, and one that he thoroughly deserves. To play at this level at that age is incredible. To play in the position he plays as well. You've got to look after yourself, you've got to know about the game, and he's done both of those things, and it's been a tremendous advert for the game of football, and one that players should look up to see how to look after yourself.
There is hope for you yet.
Probably not.
Here is Sheringham now. All he'll be thinking about is his team defending this slender lead for the remaining minutes.
Well, he'll just play in the centre of the field there. Benyuin will go out on that left-hand side, Phil Etherington's spot, and they'll still continue with a 5 in the middle of the field, but Teddy will be the one that will be playing more central and probably just slightly in advance of Daly and Rio Coca.
Herpia to Risa. Sheringham was such a clever player. And they need that expertise, that experience, that guile now. They hope anyway just to see them through, ease them through. 4 minutes plus stoppages. Here's Steve Finnan. Liverpool certainly haven't finished yet. Just as they hadn't in Istanbul in the Champions League final. That's Gerrard. Just as they hadn't against Luton in the 3rd round when they were 3-1 down and 1-5-3. You don't write them off. And that's handball by Sheringham.
Yeah, and I think it's right as well. I think that when the ball bounced up, it was possibly unintentional, but it certainly bounced up and hit his hand. He did gain advantage from it.
I didn't send you on to do that, says Alan Pardew. Gerrard, who seems to have run off that injury.
Well, the way he stretched off,
I
think it certainly was cramp. You know, he stretched off, and it's not surprising because he has covered some miles this afternoon.
Literally. Hammad is there, Gerrard is there. Hislop cutting a worried figure on his goal line, hoping they've got it right in front of him. Here's Gerrard. I think he's claiming a corner somehow, but it certainly wasn't. Goal kick and that huge roar of relief from the West Ham fans. Sensing this might yet be their day. Alan Pardew gesturing to them over on the far side. Keep it going, get behind us. Let's hear the hammers roar. While the Liverpool fans do their best to respond and lift their team. There is still time to save it. But is that comeback going to be in vain? Paul Konchesky with the third goal for West Ham. Cisse is back on the field now. They're back to full strength, Liverpool. And back on West Ham throats again. That's Risa, tossed it towards Morientes. And then Gerrard! Oh, goodness me! What a strike from Steven Gerrard. I told you, don't write them off.
Well, that's this game has had absolutely everything.
Captain Fantastic or what?
Oh, what a strike. I mean, 5 minutes before he was hobbling, he was struggling with cramp, and it just dropped to him, and he's obviously made his mind up. Right, this is going in the net or it's going in the stand. I'm just giving it everything I've got left. And he struck it perfectly. Hislop, no chance. He's 35 yards out. It's flown in that back corner. What a strike. And I just don't know what else can happen in this game now, because we've seen it all.
There is so little more you can say about that. It was an absolute pile driver from the man many feel is the best midfielder in the world, and you can hardly dispute that, argue with that on this evidence. He has dragged his team single-handedly back into this game yet again. Sheringham. Free kick to West Ham, just outside the box, conceded by Herpia. I'll tell you what though, Roy, I won't mind extra time.
Well, never mind the players, we'll realise the extra time.
I should need to lie down first and a cup of tea. We are now into stoppage time, 4 minutes at least. Sheringham is there. Benayoun is there. Konchesky is there. He can't do it again, surely. In this game, anything might happen. Here is Konchesky! Smothered by Rayner.
Well, Rayner has not exactly had a game to remember. You know, he's had a couple of things to do with a couple of the goals, and that was one he had to hold on to, because Teddy Sheringham was right on the end of it.
Here comes Risa for Liverpool. Kroenkamp back in for Morientes. Sissoko. A final flourish now from Liverpool. Steve Finnan. And it's gathered in by a very relieved Shaka Hislop. Bowled out to Harewood. What a game. Benayoun. You wouldn't want to miss this one for the world. It has lived up to every expectation. Benayoun, who's been grounded here. Just listen to the noise now around the Millennium Stadium. This magnificent arena. It's the best final for Dockey's years. Harewood. Now Zamora. Take a breath, Ray.
Well, I'm just looking at the play. Steve Finnan is struggling with a groin injury as well. He's been stretching over the far side. He's holding his left groin there. He's not moving well at all, so there's a problem there as well, which, you know...
I keep him out there on one leg. Half a leg. Hammam. He is absolutely incredible, Steven Gerrard. Kroenkamp.
Ladies and gentlemen,
amazing.
Full time.
3-3. Konchesky thought he'd won it for West Ham. But back came Steven Gerrard with that awesome strike. Just look at this.
FA Cup will be decided by penalty kicks.
I suppose we should come to expect goals from Liverpool in finals in their last three now. 17 goals have been produced, 5 against Chelsea in the League Cup final, 6 of course in Istanbul, that thriller with Milan, and now 6 again today. And it really would take a brave man to forecast which way it's going to go from here, but I have one alongside me in Ray Clements. I'll get his opinion in a moment, but here's Harewood looking to release Bobby Zamora. How's it going to go, Ray?
Well, you would imagine at the start of this second half that Liverpool should be in the ascendancy, because they've got out of jail with an incredible goal from Steven Gerrard, and therefore they should be very, very upbeat going into this. But you can't, dispel West Ham. They've got tremendous character. They've talked all week about the character and the spirit within inside that squad. They've shown it all afternoon, and who's to say they won't come back again? I think it's still so hard to predict. I think that Liverpool should go on from here, but West Ham, you can't write them off, because they've done so well so far in this game.
Morientes. West Ham have never beaten Liverpool in the FA Cup. Is this finally going to be their day? Sissoko. Way by Herpier. Sissoko was manhandled then, but play going on. So much incident, so much to talk about, and he thought his team had done it. Only minutes away from winning the FA Cup for the first time since 1980, when Trevor Brooking bent low to head home the winner against Arsenal. Sissoko swapping passes with Morientes. Is Gerrard to Hamann. Again, Liverpool prepared to be patient here as they probe at West Ham. Sissoko, another who's covered so much ground. He's so combative and aggressive in the midfield. And what they want to see now, the Liverpool fans, is a complete recovery, a complete comeback by their team. Down at 2-0, but certainly not out. And once again, they have bounced their way back into this final at 3-3. Sheringham. Only as far as Risa, letting fly! And it was not far away then from the Norwegian. 3 goals, remember, in the earlier rounds. 3 crackers as well.
Well, when the ball comes out to him, West Ham can't get to him quick enough. He has time to assess what he's going to do, and that is inches away from going in that top corner. I'm not sure if Xhaka would have got to that. He's after it, but if it had been in that top corner, it just would have sneaked in, I think.
He's about 6'7", isn't he, Xhaka? So if anyone can, he can. I agree, I'm not sure he would have kept that out. Hamann. Now Risa. Decent ball as well for Kropkamp. Konchesky was struggling. Gavidan just lost his footing as well. It must be very greasy in that penalty box, I would think. Ben Ayoun. He's played with such zest for West Ham today. But it's a Liverpool throw, despite his protest to the contrary. The Israeli came to West Ham on the recommendation of Isle Berkovic, the former Hammer. And he's been a big success, a revelation really. Signed from Racing Santander in Spain. And whatever happens today, they would seem to have a very positive future, West Ham, on this evidence. But it's Risa now for Liverpool. 3rd place in the Premiership. Now they want a prize, a trophy, to round off their season. Morientes. That was Cisse. Kronkamp arriving. And Konchesky on his guard there. I'm sure he heard it coming in. Corner to Liverpool. And that will be the signal for Herpier to come up from the back. But not Carragher.
Well, the problem Liverpool have got is they're virtually playing with 2 half-fit defenders at the moment.
That was Finnert. Cisse. Couldn't get his foot round it.
What a chance that was. What a chance. Morientes there, misheaded it, should have done better himself. Cisse totally free, just needed a good first touch and it would have been a strike on goal and should have scored. But caught unawares when the ball was headed to him by Morientes.
One or two little arguments going on back there for West Ham. Anton Ferdinand asking questions of his goalkeeper Shaka Hislop. But no harm done in the end. West Ham survive. Almost 10 minutes gone in the first period of extra time. Finnan. He certainly isn't moving too freely. Can barely run.
Well, Liverpool have got Carragher, they've got Finnan, and Steven Gerrard is still keeps stretching off. He just asked Morientes to go back into the middle of the field there for him for 5 minutes because he just felt he couldn't get back there.
Risa. Now Sissoko. Steve Finnan. Barely mobile. I'm more mobile than him. I've got gout at the moment.
Well,
He's got gout.
That might be taking it a little bit far.
That's Finnan. Towards Cisse. Now Morientes. If any viewers have any remedies for gout, perhaps they let us know. I'll put Ray's phone number, his home number, on the screen a little later on. There's only about 2 billion watching. Here's Daly. Benayoun. Very painful gout. This is Kaczewski. Benayoun again. Zamora, lovely little ball, then a cute little pass from Benayoun. This is Teddy Sheringham. Thought about winding up for a shot on goal then. Harewood. And Reina collects. Not under too much pressure, but at this stage, mistakes can happen. In this final, anything could happen. Haman. Gerrard sitting off the pace for a moment. Cisse with those fetching yellow boots. It's just too heavy though for Fernando Morientes. Now Daly. Maybe Zamora prepared to go for this one. Although Sheringham is up as well, and Zamora left his leg trailing there. Bit of a jokey character in the dressing room, Zamora, but nothing funny about that tackle then. On Risa, he's just been spoken to, but no more than that by Alan Wiley. It's tense. It's very, very tense. And at the moment, we're heading for another penalty shootout. The first one, of course, last year ever.
Well, you have to say physically West Ham are looking the better side at the moment because you've got Cisse who looks like he's got a problem with his hamstring. You've got Finnan who's definitely got a groin problem. You've got Gerrard who is having little bits of cramp. And you've got Carragher at the back who's also struggling when he's really being pushed. So physically they're the best, but can they take it on to actually put Liverpool under pressure in the last third of the field? Which they haven't done in this first period.
Not that way from Yossi Benayoun. Zamora had gone the other way, if anything. Now Cisse is clearly in distress. He'll have to soldier on. Teddy Sheringham. Really sound defending by Carragher, but he's gone to ground now. There's nobody fit and running out there.
So at the end of
apart from Teddy. He looks the freshest.
The score remains Liverpool.
That's great stuff though. Half time in extra time. And some urgent treatment repairs needed here. Herpier. Now Sissoko, who is taking a gamble incidentally by not wearing protective glasses for that eye injury. Morientes. Cronkap free away to his right. Conchesi wasn't really tight on him. It's Cronkap. And maybe the wrong man in that threatening position, although he did have two in the middle in Cisse and Morientes.
Well, he actually had time there. He's broken through there. He's in a great position to have a strike on goal. But if he'd actually looked up, he might have had another touch, knocked it forward, squared it, and Morientes and Cisse were arriving in the box. But nothing wrong with him having a go there, just couldn't get it on target.
Liverpool fans out of their seats behind the goal. They're back in them now, wincing at what might have been. Harewood. Sheringham won't get there though before Sami Hyypiä. Sure-footed at the back for Liverpool. That was Daly's header. It's gone astray though to Gerrard, who might shoot from anywhere. Cronkap. Cisse's in the box. So is Morientes. No real response though from Cisse, who can hardly run.
No, I think a fit Cisse might try to have got across the front of Gaviadon there, but just can't move now at the moment, not at pace anyway.
Maybe an hour ago, but not now. Sissoko trying to wriggle free. Then Haman. Teresa. Liverpool defender straining every sinew to keep Liverpool out. And this is Yossi Benayoun. Too long though, asking too much really of Bobby Zamora for all his finishing potential. Another Bobby Zamora who's shown what he can do at the top level this season, answering his critics. Didn't really get too many opportunities with Tottenham. He only played half a dozen times, at least in terms of starting matches at White Hart Lane. But he has made an impression with West Ham. Harewood. Now Scaloni. Goal kick. It must have come off the Argentine. He was challenged then by Sissoko, who's also limping.
Well, Sissoko's put some miles in as well. He's really been the one in the middle of the field who's driven everybody on, has won it, kept it simple, and has allowed the likes of Gerrard to go forward and be more creative for them.
An epic cup final, but which team will be the stronger now? Who can summon up the energy to go on and win the thing? Sheringham to Benayoun. Zamora wanting it played down that left side. He's got Carragher for company. And he's won the corner, Bobby Zamora, through his endeavour. Up comes Ferdinand. Sheringham in the middle too, always a threat. Rio Coca positioned just outside the box. Zamora's in the 6-yard area. Reina got a fist to it, but I think he was being jostled there. He was impeded.
Yes, he was, but it wasn't a bad finish from Scaloni when it dropped out to him, was it? But yeah, you can see here Zamora's across the face of him, stopping him getting to it. He reaches over, but certainly Zamora's trying to stop him from getting to the ball, making no attempt to get to it himself.
Fairly innocuous, but then that's goalkeepers for you.
We needed all the protection we can get.
Scaloni. Too much protection. Here's Sheringham. Benayoun. Zamora's drifted away to the far side over on the left there. This is Scaloni marauding forward now for West Ham. Sheringham. Risa to mop up. Offside says Sami Hyypiä, but the assistant down below us doesn't agree. That's a throw to West Ham. Christian Daly. That was Morientes lunging out a leg. Anton Ferdinand. Gerrard got a bit sloppy, pressurised then by Sheringham, but it's Haman who comes away with the ball. Advantage, good advantage played by the referee. Fernandez, caught in possession though by Rio Coca. Goodness, he's got some tackles in today. Sissoko. Gerrard is down injured. There's about 4 of them injured at the moment. There are very few standing out there. Crop cap, Gabidon stretching. Christian Daly. I'm exhausted watching. And Risa Sportingly has gone across here to the West Ham player who's down. Meantime, there's help for Gerrard from Herpia. Real pain etched on the face then of the Liverpool captain. But he has surely written his name now in Liverpool folklore yet again with his wonderful goal. 2 goals. And he'll have to carry on for the last few minutes. Harewood. Some attention for him as well. It's like a casualty ward out there. Sissoko with a challenge on Harewood that sent him flying to the ground. In a lung-busting afternoon, Ray.
It certainly has. And looking at Steven Gerrard when he reports to the England World Cup squad on Monday, I think he'll probably having the week off.
I need a week off. Well, he's grafted so hard, Marlon Harewood. His dad wanted him to be a cricketer. He's turned into a very useful footballer. Made his name initially, of course, with Nottingham Forest. And now he's had a super season for West Ham. It can't have been that far away, I would have thought, from an England call-up. I'm sure you can't comment on that as England's goalkeeping coach, so I won't even bother to ask you, Ray, but I think he was quite close. It won't reach Cisse, thanks to Ferdinand. Harewood is still being attended to. Down below me, Yossi Benayoun. Where does he get his energy from? Here's Sheringham to Daly. Now Scaloni. Benayoun's made tracks into the middle, so is Sheringham. Just too long for Sheringham, but only just. Sissoko. I'm sure he was yapped aside, he was, by Christian Daly. Seven minutes to go as Harewood limps back on valiantly. Hardly worth the effort. He can't contribute.
They would be desperate to try and get him back on somehow, though, because I'm sure if it comes to the end, he would be one of their penalty takers. So they'll be desperate to get him back on if they possibly can.
And in this Roy of the Rovers game, they'll go and head the winner. Sissoko. Carragher. Still no sign of Harewood returning. His boots off now. Not exactly in a deck chair, though. Kropka to Finnan. Rafa Benitez bellowing at his players over on the far side. Momo Sissoko, who's given Liverpool such an abrasive edge in midfield this season. Benitez felt he was the type of player they needed, alongside the likes of Gerrard and Alonso, to bring the best out of them. It's a stumble by Finnan, who's really struggling to get back now. Bobby Zamora. Just brushing off Herpia. Still Zamora. And the boyhood West Ham fan was sensing glory then. His eyes were lighting up. But in the end he was stopped in his tracks.
Well, it's the last thing that Liverpool's back four need to run at the moment. Is somebody like Bobby Zamora running at them, and the only way that Herpia can get to him is stumbled into the back of him, and therefore the free kick's given. But certainly Zamora's got bags of energy, came on late in the game, and if he gets a chance to run at Liverpool like that, he will cause them problems.
Some of the wounded aren't even walking out there. It might be Zamora, it might be Benayoun, it might be Teddy Sheringham, and Konchesky's there too.
It certainly won't be Harewood.
Don't you write anything off in this game. Remember, Alan Pardew got the winner in the semi-final for Palace against Liverpool once. This is Benayoun. Even Pardew might come on. Scaloni. Hamat to play it away. Now Cisse. Liverpool run out of steam? Not yet, not yet. Sissoko, Morientes in the middle. Fernando Morientes, and that was a terrific saving tackle there by Anton Ferdinand. Just got there in the nick of time to rescue his team. Fernandez on the prowl, was waiting to pounce. Now he's injured as well. Is the referee all right? He is. Everybody else has gone. Finnan. Hamann. Sheringham was after him. Here's Morientes. Sissoko. 3-3, it could have been 6-6. Wonderful stuff. Hamann. Just the kind of game that makes this old game of ours such a great one.
Well, as you say, Peter, when you see games like this, you realise why you're involved in this game, and these are the games you want to see, and it gives you that buzz that proves that this game of football is the best game in the world, without a shadow of doubt. It takes you through so many emotions.
Konchesky. The 125th FA Cup final has been a treasure. Kind of game which shows why the FA Cup has retained its aura and its worldwide appeal for over a century. Is there yet to be a sting in the tail, an extraordinary tale in Cardiff's Millennium Stadium this afternoon. The sun's come out and the two teams have come out and turned on a magnificent performance. And there certainly does not deserve to be a loser. Morientes to Cisse. There has to be a loser, and it looks now as if that is going to be settled by a penalty shootout, unless Nigel Rio-Coker. Zamora. Tripped by Dietmar Hamann. Well, he's been cautioned by Alan Wiley, which maybe is a little harsh at this stage. I think the biggest punishment is that the free kick's been conceded where it has been.
Yeah, Hamann finished out there because obviously Finnan is struggling there. Doesn't want to leave him one against any white shirt. So Hamann went out there and finished up committing the foul to save Finnan being exposed.
Yossi Benayoun to whip this one in. Rayner across, the bar off the post, and then wide by the limping Marlon Harewood. Oh.
Well, I mean, Rayner's not. Did he get a touch on that by Harewood? He just can't adjust. He's struggling for his life with the injury. Just cannot adjust here. It's gone off the back of Harewood's head in the first place. Hippier injured himself there, and Harewood just can't. It's that left foot again, even when he's fit, but he's obviously struggling there and just couldn't get his balance to direct into the empty net.
He can't kick with his left foot. Remember that screamer in the semi-final? Well, it certainly ricocheted off the frame of the goal. And to Liverpool's utter relief and West Ham's utter despair, the chance went a begging. Here's Morientes. Suddenly the action switches to the other end. Seconds to go. Konchesky for West Ham. Pardew and Benitez over on the far side imploring their teams now just to either keep it tight or go for a winner. Zamora.
Sissoko's now gone down. Again, doesn't surprise me. Just the work he's put in. I mean, he's probably covered more miles than anybody on the Liverpool side, and it's got to him, and he just cannot put one leg in front of the other at the moment.
One extra minute, as if we haven't had enough drama already, and there's plenty more to come if it does go to the shootout. No fears for Liverpool, and I'm sure Alan Pardew has his team well prepared as well. Did this come off Harewood or was it Rio Coca? Hard to see, but Rayner was really stretching. I'm not sure if he got his fingertips to that or not. But a major let off for Liverpool. He did get his hat to it.
He did, yeah. It was a tremendous touch, it really was. But it still has left to this man Harewood here. There's an empty net there virtually. Just needs to get it on target. And just through the injury, no other reason, just could not get his balance.
Well, the fans over on that far side rising to Momo Sissoko. Fatigue has certainly set in for him. Just about everybody out there. He'll be exhausted too. Rafa Benitez. There'll be a few extra seconds because of that latest delay. Bobby Zamora. And it will be a penalty shootout to decide the last FA Cup final in the Millennium Stadium. There is more drama to come. Didi Hatman will take the first kick for Liverpool against Shaka Hislop, the man who a year ago thought his career was just about over. He didn't dream, I'm sure, that he would be in this kind of situation. Hatman against Hislop and scores eventually. Very cool, right?
No, it's a well-taken penalty. I think that Alan Wiley spoke to the goalkeepers before to say, look, I don't want you coming forward off the line, where we've seen a lot of goalkeepers in the past. They're allowed to move along the line, but not to come forward. And we've seen a lot of that happening, and certainly there Xhaka stayed on his line when normally they might be a couple of yards forward.
Bobby Zamora, oh, he saved it! Well, he has such a reputation for keeping out penalty kicks. And he's come up with another blinding stop here. Pepe Reina.
That was a tremendous save. He's taken a step forward, but he's got to really stretch into that bottom corner. And it's a good penalty, to be fair, but Pepe Reina, that's a fabulous save. That really is.
Made saves in a penalty shootout for Villarreal, his former club, in the final of the Intertoto Cup against Atletico Madrid. Pepe Reina, that got them through to the UEFA Cup proper. And he's made a lot of saves too in 90-minute games. Here comes Herpio. Oh, that's been saved as well.
Well, that really was a tired penalty, if ever I've seen one. His body language as he comes up to it there, he doesn't make good contact with it at all, and it's a very comfortable save for Shaka Hislop to make. So, you know, I think as Paul Walsh talked about, you know, tiredness in this penalty shootout, and that certainly showed.
Teddy Sheringham. Can he beat Reina? He can! Sheringham celebrates, so do the West Ham faithful behind that goal. Come on, come on, that's the cry from the veteran striker.
You don't get a cooler person under pressure than Teddy Sheringham. I've seen him throughout his career, and if ever you wanted somebody in a penalty shootout to come out and take a vital one, then he would be the man.
1-1. Steven Gerrard. Such a hero in the match itself. Eyes staring, focused, and he scores.
And I think of these penalty shootouts, it's all about making good contact with the ball, striking it as firmly as you can. If you try and be clever at these penalty shootouts, I think goalkeepers will suss you out, and they've got chances of making saves against you. But when they're hit with the sort of power Gerrard hit the ball, then you've got no chance, even if you go the right way.
Kaczewski. Reina again. I'm not sure he was right back on his line.
No, he's getting further and further away, and I'm not sure, you know, if Alan Wiley might have a word with him, but certainly Kaczewski tried to hit it down the middle. A lot of players in these situations do, because goalkeepers tend to go one way or the other, and Reina was still agile enough to get his feet to it and knock it away.
Alan Pardew fears the worst. John Arnaisa, the spotlight is on him now. Confronting him is Shaka Hislop. But it was too strong. Brock Risa. 3-1.
Straight down the middle. Risa knows how vital that is. He's just hit it with power, kept his head down. To be fair, the same as Konchesky did, but unfortunately for Hislop, he couldn't get his feet up to knock it away.
It's Ferdinand, saved again by Reina, and Liverpool have won the FA Cup. Pepe Reina may not have had the best of days in the match itself, but goodness me, he has been a hero in the penalty shootout, and it's Liverpool's day after all.
Well, as you rightly say, I'm sure Pepe Reina will look at his 90 minutes and think, that's probably one of the most inconsistent games I've had this season for Liverpool. But when it mattered in the penalties, he came up with trumps. And certainly 2 of the 3 saves he made was absolutely magnificent and deserves all the praise now that he's getting from his teammates.
Wild celebrations, and he's the man of the moment. Ferdinand's kick kept up by Reina. He gets the right way. Was that 3 saves?
3 saves. The first one was tremendous. The second one was maybe a little bit fortunate. That one there, certainly, I think Anton Ferdinand would say that he didn't hit it as well as he'd like to have done. But Reina's still got to go the right way, and he's still got to get something on it. And he did it, and full credit to him.
The FA Cup is heading for Merseyside, winners of the first final here at the Millennium Stadium 5 years ago, and now they've won the last one as well. But goodness me, there was some drama along the way, and he will be a very, very relieved man. And, well, no wonder, absolute despair and dejection for those who have followed the team in claret and blue.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, please
An unforgettable afternoon, and in truth, and I'm sure all of you watching around the world will agree with me, there are no losers today. This has been a memorable final, and all credit to West Ham for the part that they have played in it, as Nigel Reo-Coker, their young captain, leads up his beleaguered troops, but they should be, Ray Clements, very proud of their contribution today.
Well, you just got to look at the stadium. The whole stadium is up. Every Liverpool supporter is applauding West Ham's efforts. Every single one. As West Ham fans have stayed because they know how much effort these lads in white have put in. And the Liverpool fans are full of praise for them as well, because everybody, they know how hard they've pushed Liverpool. They've pushed Liverpool to the very, very limits in terms of it was Liverpool who looked physically the side that were more tired in the end. They're not the winners, but to every West Ham fan, they can be going back down that motorway tonight being very, very proud of their team's efforts.
A big consolation too, of course. They will be in Europe, they will be in the UEFA Cup next season for the first time in almost 30 years, because of course Liverpool will be playing in the Champions League. But it's wonderful to see the response and reception given to the West Ham players by, as Ray was saying, they're all the Liverpool fans as well, all rising as one to salute West Ham at their contribution.
Well, you look at the Liverpool players walking up here.
walking?
They're struggling to get up those stairs.
That is a measure of how much these players have put in today, how much they have grafted. Sammy Herpier, who back at the start of the season didn't think he'd be involved in another major final, I'm sure. Pepe Reina, the hero then of the shootout, but so many heroes from both teams in this epic FA Cup final. It's always going to be hard for Alan Pardew and his West Ham team, but 2-0 up, they must have thought they had a wonderful chance of winning it. Cisse, another who can hardly struggle there along the rostrum. And Steven Gerrard, what a hero, the Players' Player of the Year. A year ago held aloft so excitedly the European Champions League trophy. Now it's the FA Cup, another proud moment for this magnificent player.
The
The heartbeat of the Liverpool team, a hero for the red half of Merseyside, hopefully for England too. And the FA Cup is back in Liverpool hands for the 7th time. Second in 6 seasons, it's glory for them in Cardiff again. And back home on Merseyside, there will be some party in celebration, as there always is, when the Reds bring them a trophy. Commiserations to West Ham, but the FA Cup winners of 2006 are Liverpool. And you have to take your hat off, Ray, to everybody involved in this final.
Yeah, every one of those players, every fan that's in this stadium, it's just been a special, special day to be here. The atmosphere from both sets of fans, they're both still here now as West Ham players go around to their supporters. They're getting tremendous applause from them. The Liverpool lads, a lot of them are out on their feet. They don't know where their next step has come, but they've got the trophy. And it was a wonderful sight to see Steven Gerrard yet again, hands on a trophy, lifting it up there with all those streamers going on behind. Great day for football, great day for the FA Cup. It's been a pleasure to be here today.
A total pleasure. The most entertaining FA Cup final I think I've ever seen, certainly. There has to be a winner, there has to be a loser. Pepe Reina just soaking up the moment here. Alonso, who had to limp off injured, so many were injured by the end. An absolutely memorable day for everyone here, and hopefully too around the world. You've enjoyed it too, I'm sure you have. My voice is going, Ray Clement's voice is going. Terrific stuff. We'll see you again, but for now, from Ray Clements and myself, Peter Brackley, a very good afternoon to you as we salute the winners of the 2006 FA Cup. It's Liverpool.